Welcome to your all-active Reserve and Veterans TV series. This information education show has 3 goals. Tell who military veterans are, share about all organizations, auxiliaries, their programs and officers at all levels, and tell about memorials in all the cities we serve in this network. The VA system, state and county officers, hospitals and state homes are also featured. Please do check out our websites. Share your program ideas and concerns via the contact information on the show. We open each month's show with a patriotic theme. Welcome once again to another program of Vets Visits on TV. This is program number 159 for the month of June, and we're so happy to have you with us. This is our co-host.
I'm Brad Lindsay, Olmsted County Veteran Services.
And I'm Jerry Barnhart, the founder-producer of the program. So glad to have you with us. Now let's look at some dates in history. And first we will go to June 12th. 1775, the Merchant Marine was established. On the 14th, of course, is Flag Day, and we'll have some more to say about that. And you've already seen the patriotic opening on Flag Day from the Elks Lodge at the Soldiers Field Memorial. On the 14th of this month, in 1775, the U.S. Army was established. The third Sunday is Father's Day. And now, is Amy going to do something in recognition of you? Oh, you're not a father. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you are. That's right. Okay.
It'll be a surprise.
Oh, it will. Sure. Okay. The 25th is the 60th anniversary of the recognition of when the North Koreans invaded South Korea in 1950. And here is the cap, which I wear proudly. And forever proud. And let's not forget. Okay, 3 years, short war, and yet a very tragic war. Okay, Brad, what's our first feature then?
Well, last year Jerry taped the Elks Lodge program honoring our nation's flag. This is a required event of all Elks Lodges. Vets Visits encourages all youth and adults to plan to attend this very patriotic experience. Because of the length, only parts of the program will be shown.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true neath the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Heraldry is as old as the human race. The carrying of banners has been a custom among people of all ages. These banners usually contain some concept of the life of the government or those who fashion them. The evolution of the American flag marks the progression of the government of the American people. From the founding of Jamestown in Virginia in 1607 until 1775, the flag of England was the flag of the peoples of America. In 1775, the pine tree flag was adopted for all colonial vessels, and this was the banner carried by the Continental forces in the Battle of Bunker Hill. The southern colonies from 1776 to 1777 used the snake flag. In the latter part of 1775, the Continental Congress appointed a committee to consider the question of a single flag for the 13 colonies. That committee recommended a design of 13 alternate stripes of red and white with an azure field in the upper corner, bearing the red cross of St. George and the white cross of St. Andrew. John Paul Jones, the senior lieutenant of the flagship Alfred, hoisted this flag to the masthead on December 3, 1775, and 1 month later it was raised over the headquarters of General Washington at Cambridge, Massachusetts, in compliment, as he wrote, to the United Colonies. The flag called the Continental Colors and the Grand Union was never carried in the field by the Continental Land Forces, but it was used by the Navy as its exclusive ensign and was the first American flag to receive a salute of honor, a salute of 11 guns from the Fort of Orange in the Dutch West Indies. In response to a general demand for a banner more representative of our country, the Congress on June 14, 1777 provided that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes of alternating red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white on a blue field, representing a constellation. Believe that in May or June of 1776, a committee consisting of George Washington, Robert Morris, and George Ross commissioned Betsy Ross, a Philadelphia Quakeress, to make a flag from a rough design they left with her. It is said she suggested that the stars should have 5 points rather than 6. This starry banner was first shown at Fort Stanwix, called Fort Schuyler at that time, near the city of Rome, New York, on August 3, 1777, and was under fire 3 days later at the Battle of Oriskany, August 6, 1777, during a British and Indian attack. The first official salute to the Stars and Stripes was given on February 14, 1778, by France on the French coast, when the Ranger, under the command of John Paul Jones, was saluted by the French fleet. This flag, then carried by the Ranger, was made by the young women of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, from the stripes of their best colored silk dresses and the wedding gown of a recent bride. It is said that this same Ranger's flag was flown by Joan's ship, the Bonami Richard, in a thrilling fight by moonlight upon the high seas, with the British frigate Serapis. When the Serapis struck her colors, the immortal fame of John Paul Jones was ensured as the intrepid defender of the youthful republic. The original 13 Stars and Stripes represented the original 13 colonies. In 1795, 2 additional stars and stripes were added to represent admission to the Union of Vermont and Kentucky. Under this flag of 15 stars and stripes was fought the War of 1812. It was the sight of it flying over Fort McHenry on September 14, 1814, that inspired Francis Scott Key to write what was to become our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Miss Margaret Young, who cut the stars for that particular banner, was the mother of Henry Sanderson, the Grand Exalted Ruler of the Order of Elks in 1884. Adopted a resolution that on and after July 4th, 1818, the number of stripes should be 13, and that the blue field should carry 1 star for each of the 20 states in the Union, and that a new star should be added for each state thereafter admitted. Been no change in the flag design except that 28 new stars were added before July 4th, 1912. And this flag of 48 stars flew over this nation for 47 years until just before the Vietnam War. On July 4th, 1959, a star was added for Alaska, our first non-connected state, and a year later Hawaii, our island state, added a 50th star. Our present flag, 50 stars and 13 stripes. It is accompanied by the POW MIA flag to recognize the plight and demise of a special group of our armed forces, those who were prisoners of war and still remain missing in action.
The Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, has issued a warning to veterans not to disclose personal information over the phone to callers claiming to update, confirm, or verify VA-related information. VA reports the fraudulent callers' mode of operation include asking for credit card numbers, bank routing numbers, and other personal and financial information. A recent fraudulent call reported by a veteran included the caller claiming to be a VA employee and stating that the veteran's medical card had expired. The caller would then ask the veteran to submit a check over the phone to renew the medical card. VA warns to be leery of any on-call originating from 888-555-1234, for it is the number identified in the case I just mentioned.
Very good. Thank you, Brad. Okay, let's move along then, and perhaps you'll recall a familiar song from the era, probably some 30 years ago, called Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree. I was off key there, I'm sorry. But from that title, a few years ago, was born a fantastic support program for honoring the active and returning military personnel and their families. Now, if your community does not have a yellow ribbon program, we heartily encourage you to get aboard the program. Listen closely. Ken Royal first shares with us in this interview and gives a phone number And then a reservist's wife and several children share their positive feelings as they are at a special event to give some time and a break for families. So all this takes place at the House of Bounce, where we'll also hear from one of the owners. What capacity do you have with this particular group?
I'm the chairman of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, Southeast Minnesota, the steering committee.
And when did you officially begin operations here in Southeast Minnesota?
We've been meeting since March of last year, March of 2009, but our first real public event was in October of 2009.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about the history of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program.
Sure. Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, Southeast Minnesota is a part of a wider Minnesota state effort with the Minnesota National Guard for something they call Fort Minnesota and becoming a Yellow Ribbon City or a Yellow Ribbon County. And they started this almost 3 years ago to encourage communities to find ways to support military families and support veterans that happen to live in those areas. So we started in March of 2009. We formed our steering committee in July and August and had our first event in October then. And so we're just fairly new in the community and fairly new in the county.
Is it connected with a more national organization that you know of?
I don't think there's a national organization as such. Now within the state of Minnesota, you'll find several Yellow Ribbon cities and counties, but I don't know if there's any past the state of Minnesota.
So you're saying then that any community could start up something like this program if they wanted to?
Yes, they could. I would encourage any community in any state to contact the state's National Guard headquarters, because this the state of Minnesota, has put this out to everybody in the nation. So there may be some other programs going that I'm just unaware of at this time.
At any rate, any local community anywhere could certainly have a program which encourages the concept of what is your mission? Caring for the veterans and their families, or the actives and their families, we should say.
Yeah. Our focus with Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Southeast Minnesota is really on military families, people who currently wear the uniform in all 5 branches of the service. And in our area, that's primarily going to be members of the Minnesota Air and Army National Guard, and also reservists from all 5 services. But there are also some active duty families that do live in our area and in the counties surrounding Rochester.
Just out of curiosity, do you have a military background?
Yes, I do. I spent 23 years on active duty from 1970 to the end of 1993. I was in the Army, and this is part of the reason I've decided to work with this group and get it going, is to try to help families who are deployed, because that's a real need, particularly for a Guard or Reserve family that happens to live out in a rural area. That's what we're trying to focus on.
We want to put up a phone number that people can call for general information about the program. You have a folder, flyer, and we'll put that on our screen. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Now, what are some of the immediate events that you have? Well, one that we're celebrating today is this first one on February 21st here at the House of Bounce. And these are other family events, aren't there? Can you share some of the things that will be happening?
Yes. The way we're trying to get to know our military families is providing a fun family event once a month. And this month we're at the House of Bounce. We're very thankful. It's a local Rochester business. It's a whole lot of fun for kids. And any military family that comes tonight, they'll be able to bounce for free or get 2 laser tag sessions for free, one or the other. But in the coming months, in March, we have an event scheduled with a co-sponsor, the Rochester Community and Technical College, and we're going to have a spring event where they will turn the Heinz Commons area into a make-believe park. We're going to have a fishing pond, a sandbox, craft events, and the horticultural students from RCTC are putting this all together, and it'll be a fun evening on March the 26th. In April, In April the 17th, we're co-partnering with the Rochester Area Family Y, part of their Healthy Kid program on Saturday, April the 17th. We're going to have a special event that honors military children. April is the month of the military child, and we'll partner with them. We'll have law enforcement, firemen, all the Wise facilities will be available for use by families, lots of other fun events.
And then I noticed June 25th is a Rochester Fest, and they'll be doing
That's
something
correct.
in connection with that annual event.
That's right. We hope to have a float in the parade and have some military families on that float, and we'll let their kids throw out candy and everything else as part of that parade. But we want to, another way for us to publicize who we are and what we do in the community is having a float that day.
Well, Ken, we certainly thank you for this overview of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program here for Southeast Minnesota and some of the events that you have coming up in the immediate future. And we'll hang around for a little while and greet some of the families and children that are going to be with us, okay?
Thank you.
And here is one busy lady we're talking with.
Okay.
She's got 4 little children along with her here at the House of Bounce. And what is your name?
My name is Marcy Bielum.
And you live here in Rochester?
We live in Rochester.
Okay. And your husband is in?
My husband Carl is in the Air National Guard based out of St. Paul.
Out of St. Paul, about an hour and a half drive away. And how are the children enjoying this experience so far?
How are you guys enjoying this experience?
Really fun.
Good.
Are you having fun
Okay.
here?
Yes, I'm having
I
fun.
can't get over there.
Are you having
Okay.
fun, Max?
Okay. Well, you are one busy lady, I can tell.
Very busy.
Yeah. And so your husband is not working at his job.
Yep.
And then what does he do in the Air National Guard?
He's a nurse in both the
Okay.
military and in the civilian side.
Okay. Fine. So he works in the Mayo system?
He works at Mayo.
Uh-huh. Okay, super. And how did you find out about the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program?
Actually, we got an email. I don't know how they got our information, but for the Halloween party this fall, our whole family was in attendance, and the kids loved it. We enjoyed meeting other families, and
Oh.
so we're back again.
Well, that's wonderful, and you'll find over there in that one special room where there's tables, that there's many more activities that are coming up each month. That's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yes.
My son, Samuel, can tell you
Samuel?
what he thinks about the program, too. Cup your hand around it.
I think it's really nice that they have a program for us and that they include us, not just the adults, but I think it's nice that they have us for us kids too.
Well, thank you, Samuel. And what grade in school are you?
Sunset Terrace.
At what was that?
Sunset Terrace.
Oh, Sunset Terrace. And what grade?
5th grade.
Okay, super. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for sharing with us.
You're very welcome.
Okay. I'm going to just take a pan shot of all this activity going on here. Thank you, Samuel. Okay. All the children. Now off they go into the wild blue yonder. Thank you.
That was hard to hear.
I know it is, but that's what it's all about. Good afternoon, sir. And what is your name?
I'm Edward Hyatt.
And what is your connection with the House of Bounce?
I'm one of the owners, me and my wife, Sue Hyatt.
Okay, and it's been open how long?
We've been open for about a year and 3 months, 3.5 months.
And I understand you're really packed on weekends.
Oh yeah, weekends, Saturdays are usually busy, and Sundays can be busy, but the weekdays are not as much. But well, Tina came to us, and we talked to her, and we thought it was an excellent idea to have her come out and meet with us. And so we told her about the situation, and we said that we'll provide everything for free for the services for all the members who came from Afghanistan and Pakistan, all that, especially the military family. That's what we're talking about. And they came out, and we told them that we'll give them a free bounce and laser tag, and they came out and played. And
Wonderful. And now, have you
made an estimated count of how many are here?
Right now, there's supposed to be 52. We like to see that number grow in the future. So, I mean, all your military families out there, you take advantage of this. It's excellent to get reach for, your family.
When they come back again in a few months, perhaps. When they come back again in a few months.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
Well, thank you so much for sharing the story of House of Bounce. And well, that's a wrap for this month of June and the Best Visits on TV. And be sure to look us up at our website anytime you're wondering about some of the past programs that we've had over the years. As we've told you before, we are in our 13th year now, starting in April. And that reminds me, Brad, do you have your garden planted?
Couple things in, but in Minnesota, it's always late for us.
Yeah. Well, this has been an early spring, but still.
Been a few cold snaps.
Yes, definitely. And I hope you folks are able to get your gardens in and get a little bit of exercise out there, mowing the lawn, what have you. And thank you so much for tuning in. And you vets that are in hospitals and healthcare centers, I know you're watching too, and hope you're doing better, okay? In 22 states, we welcome you to Vets Visits on TV. Thank you for joining us for this month's show. Seen in over 350 communities for over 3,500 half-hour periods. Our websites have additional information about the show and are updated bi-monthly. To contact us, you are welcome to use one of these electronic methods. For all ground mail with questions, suggestions for future programs, you may use this address. Our IRS nonprofit status is 501c3, Information Education. The Minnesota Commission and these state-level organizations believe in and endorse Vets Visits. Join us next time, won't you, for Vets Visits on TV.